Yeah, the Too Short documentary, Dwayne Wiggins, Tony reached out to me. And it was like, hey, now I want to get down with you on something. I need to talk to you about this Too Short documentary thing I'm trying to do. And I think he got with some producers. You know, people out here be like, yeah, I'm a producer, you know, and not really realizing all that it takes. It's not just filming interviews. And so he called me and he was like, I have these Too Short interviews that I have and I'm trying to put something together. I was like, all right, well, let me see them. He showed me, it was like a handful of interviews, like with Max Julian, I think E40, and a couple of Dominique Duprima. And it was a lot of talking heads. And I said, you need some B-roll. You need performance footage. You need archival. You got the tapes. Where are the albums? You know, where are the players? Like, where are the people who helped him get where he is? And so he was like, I need you to do this. I said, okay. So we started filming. This was in 1990. I don't know what year it was. 90s.
Late 90s, right?
Late 90s. So we just started filming it, reached out to his Too Short's mom, the record label, Sway, you know, Teddy Bohannon, just everybody that was involved in his career during that time. We shot all the interviews, got all the B-roll, archival footage. I got with my editor, Judd Fleming, who's a phenomenal editor, and we edited at my husband Thomas McElroy's and Denzel Foster's studio in Oakland. Took us about 2 or 3 months to edit the entire film, all the archival footage, and put together the documentary. And it was called It's Life Is Too Short, The Life and Times of Todd Shaw. It was on a DVD, and it was being sold in that time in actual stores. Right. Rasputin's had it at that time. You know, brick and mortar was big back then when things were on DVD. But I don't know what happened in terms of, I think there was some conversations about having it on BET and some other network platforms, but I never did see. We shot the entire documentary, and then we were like the finale, or he was having, it was his birthday in Las Vegas, and at the same time it was some kind of like players ball happening, and so I was like, we should film that as an extra bonus feature for the DVD, because I was big on DVDs, like the bonus feature, right at the end of the menu is like the bonus feature. Yeah. And so that was gonna like get you more sales. And I was like, the bonus feature could be the Too Short players ball, you know, thing in Las Vegas. And Dwayne was like, I love it, let's go, right? So we all went out to Vegas and we filmed him singing his concert. And it was like, you know, pimps out there like, yeah, man, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? You know, I've been a player since Moby Dick was a pollywog. You feel me? You know, it's just like, what? And so that was the added bonus feature on the documentary. So there's one cut that's out on YouTube that isn't the whole footage, you know, the whole documentary. And then I have the documentary with the bonus footage that got the strippers and the pimps on it. So I think we'll put it out. Or put it up on YouTube. Backstage Pass was really special for me because I love music. I love live music, and those like getting in, I just didn't realize at the time the type of access we had with the type of artists that we had, and how important production quality is to me, and that I took the steps to get great sound, great lighting, great composition. Those were all things that were very important to me. Like, it's not enough for me to just get in there with my camera and have my sound overdriven. Where's the board? Where's my XLR cable? Who's the sound man? Let me get in there during sound check so I can like patch in and get a sound check early, so when I get ready to film, my sound is even. That is what's important to me. It was the technical, the production quality. It wasn't even so much who was performing, because I knew if I was there, it was going to be good anyway. It was the production quality. And you never know, if it's good, it doesn't matter who's you know, if it's good, that person will be like, 10 years from now, that was Mel LaRue back then. That was Black Eyed Peas before they even blew up.
Right.
So for me, it was recognizing talent and recognizing good music, just like with Frida, just like with Too Short, or just like with some of the stuff we did on Backstage Pass before it blew up.
Well, speaking of which, we were just looking earlier here at that incredible Shock G interview.
Shock G.
And everything about that was perfect. The lighting, the picture, the sound, the framing, and all. And the fact that this is Shock G, who now sadly
transitioned.
Rest in peace, that people appreciate even more.
You know what? It's interesting too, even like with something inside of me that I feel urgency when it comes to filming something, that I have to get it. And I don't know if it's some kind of like, maybe in the future this will be important, but sometimes I'm like, I'm not going for that. But other times I'll jump through hoops. Like, I got to get this. And that's one of those interviews, because he rescheduled like 3 or 4 times. And I waited, I think, till 9 o'clock at night to get that interview. And never posted it, never did anything with it, and just looked at it tonight. And it's one of the most beautiful interviews I think I've ever did. And something about the camera that I've learned, it's a time machine. It can capture light, space, and time and freeze it. And when you look back at it, when you look through this frame, it's almost like right now I'm talking to you and there's so much going on here and I'm missing it. But when I look through here and I play back, I'm like, oh my God, there's so much going on. So it just gives you another eye. And so it's just like it's like an apparatus to get you into different dimensions. And I love it because it's a tool, it's like a time machine. And so when I'm filming stuff or I'm taking pictures or video or something, and then I look at it outside of that moment, it becomes a whole nother moment. It's like, but then it also transports. When the Shock G video, I was like, wow, some of the things he was talking about and how he was playing on the piano mean so much more now than they did in that very moment that it happened.
And another thing too, when we were viewing the footage, that you were lucky, you and your crew, to get to the Maritime Hall in San Francisco and be allowed to film, because other people weren't. But you mentioned about how if this, like, we were looking at footage from the 90s, and you said how if it was today, everyone would have their phones up.
Oh, God.
So that kind of ruined it, even though everyone now has the ability to do what you're saying. In a way, it's watered down, right?
It's watered down, and it's almost like when I look at photos of my ancestors, the one photo that I have of my grandmother means everything, because there's only one photo. And that one photo tells me a whole story, because at the time that photo was taken, you know that that's the only photo that you're going to get. And so you spend time in that moment taking that photo, and you connect with the moment of the time of that photo. And so does the person who you're taking the photo of. Now you could take 20 photos and be like, and just pick the most perfect one. And then it's like, but that's not fun, It's too easy. It's too accessible. So that's one aspect of it, the space and time that a photo can capture. That's why I have some cameras that are, my daughter has Polaroid cameras. There's just one, and that's it. So you spend more time, you're more selective about it, But going to these live shows, even with some of the Frida footage that I have, no cell phones. Everyone's all actually watching the show and engaged. They're not like, hey, I'm here. Don't you want to be here with me, being here, watching Frida? It's like, I'm here, and the memories in my mind, the memories in my spirit, the memories in my body, and I'm going to hold it forever. Not, oh, I'm showing this photo of me being here and you're not, and just takes away from the whole meaning, of the moment. So I'm grateful to have been a part of some moments that were just moments for the moments, and not cell phones in them. All that footage I have of Frida are no cell phones.
You're grateful to have grown up in the analog age.
Analog age, yeah. And the intention of, like, being in a moment for the sake of the moment, being in the moment to, be with other people and dance and sweat and whatever, and not be distracted by this other device that's here as a barrier between whatever kind of experience we could be experiencing together, and lives, and everyone else has that same exact shot. Like, I saw that. You. Sometimes I'll see something of like my friends or my family, and they'll post something on their story, and all of them have the same exact, I'm like, you just all, can I see something different? Like, they'll all have the exact same moment posted in their stories.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.